Nearly 5 million children have been born in Syria since 2011. They have known nothing but war and conflict. Love, hope, and transformation are the three things that this book talks about. This book can shatter you into pieces. And the book's name is, of course, you can see it right behind me, The Beekeeper of Aleppo. This is a work of fiction, but it is based on the author's experience over 2 summers volunteering in Athens at a refugee center. Syria right now is a base of terrorism. We all know that there are a lot of terrorism and politics, and the country is going through a economic turmoil right now. And the situation, I would say, has very much improved since what it was 10 years back. Syria was completely destroyed. This book is the story is based in Aleppo, which is a small city in Syria, and it is close to the desert part of Syria. And there are two people. It's basically the story of a beekeeper who is very fascinated by the job of beekeeping, and his wife and his son. So this story is about Nuri and Afra. Afra is Nuri's wife, and Sami was Nuri and Afra's son. They lose their son when a missile hits their house. I'm not giving you a spoiler, because this is going to come in the initial pages itself. And they lose their son. They lose their hope, and losing hope is one of the biggest thing. His wife becomes blind and loses all the hope of living, and they are forced to fly out of Syria, forced to fly out of Aleppo, which is in Syria, and they, as refugees, begin their journey to fly to United Kingdom. You would probably know that I recommend a lot of Khalid Hosseini's books, and his books were something which were very fascinating to me. So I've read all his 3 books, all his 3 novels, Kite Runner, Thousand Splendid Suns, and The Mountains Echoed. So the reason the way I discovered this book was when I was researching for similar books like Khalid Hosseini, and I found Christy Lefteri's book also in that list. And I was going through the list, I was going through the reviews. I thought, let's read it. And this was last year. I planned that I would buy a book by Christy Lefteri. And yes, I bought it. And this book is amazing. It's interesting, it's amazing, it's heartbreaking, it's heart-wrenching. All the synonyms that you could use. And it's very emotional. Author actually describes a lot of and uses a lot of literary devices in the book. When I was going through, I read about symbolism. There were imagery, there was personification. Everything was used very in a very good way, and it was so good that you cannot even imagine. You will need to understand and go into depths. That's number one. You can't just if, after reading, if you open Goodreads and go for book discussions, you'll definitely find out how deeply the author has thought for writing this book. So I will definitely recommend everyone to read this book. And yeah, that's it. That's the review. I am trying my best not to give you spoilers, so that you at least read this book. The link to buy this book is in the description box below. And I think this book is not very long as well. It's just 350 pages. You can definitely give it a read. And do let me know if you read this book. Your opinions, your suggestions are most welcome. You can also suggest me books in the comment section below, so that I read them and I review them. We'll meet next Sunday with a very good review, I guess, and on a very interesting book. So bye bye. Like the video, probably, if you love the review, and subscribe to the channel. I think that's it. Bye bye.